I haven't been myself since the 90s.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Me neither. So we're back. Yeah.
That's right.
We are. We're back. With our full breakdown of Burnt. Point from 2015. I was going to say the Ryan Reynolds movie. It's not Ryan Reynolds. What's his name? Bradley Cooper.
Cooper Cup.
Full breakdown. This is part one. We're going to get into it and cook you up a meal.
Oh boy.
We'll sous vide this episode.
That's right.
It's a big plot point in this movie.
Yeah, you really need to work on that. Yeah, it's true.
All right. You want to recap us on what Bint is all about from 2015?
Yep.
And you said this is going to be a quick one.
The last good year. Yeah, that's right.
The last good year.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a quick one for sure. So it's the premise is Adam Jones is a chef who destroyed his career with drugs and diva behavior. Sounds like a party, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He cleans up, returns to London, determined to redeem himself by spearheading a top restaurant that can gain 3 Michelin stars. What a weirdly worded log line. I still don't like it.
Yeah, it's a weird mouthful. I don't like it either.
I rarely like it. So
yeah, you can cut out that he cleans up and returns to London. We don't care about that.
No, not at all. Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. The rest of it sucks too, but
yeah, it all sucks. But you could start there. We could start there and cut that out. But anyways, yeah, I mean that's pretty much. I don't know. That's the movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out and say I was wrong. This movie does not turn into Whiplash.
It does. Oh, I thought that was I thought you came up with that. I didn't realize that was a.
Oh, yeah. You thought that was totally original?
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is really good. This would be a really good movie.
Nope.
Does not turn into Whiplash. I was actually kind of close.
Yeah, I guess you're pretty close. Yeah,
I was kind of close because I'm not sure if he's. Yeah, well, we'll get to it, but he almost ended up on a plane coming back to California to be with his boyfriend. So
yeah, kind of,
sort of, like almost, like right, like
yeah.
I think halfway, like three quarters of this movie through, I'm like, wait a second, are him and Tony, were they an item at one point? Is that what they're hinting at?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I couldn't tell.
No, definitely not.
No, I wasn't sure. I don't know. There was one scene I was like, I think maybe, but anyways, it doesn't matter. We were close enough. Quick info. Yeah,
you gonna tell me about it?
I'm going to tell you.
I don't know anything about this movie.
All right, I'm going to give you everything that you need to know about this, and maybe some. Okay, so directed by John Wells. Okay. He's a workhorse. So mostly a lot of producing, but he's got some solid credits under his belt. Okay. Directing a lot of TV. ER, did episodes of ER. He's been writing stuff since
Shameless,
since the late Shameless, which I haven't seen, but I heard is good. It's funny.
Same.
ER, wrote 32 episodes of that. Directed some episodes. Only directed a
10 episodes of West Wing. Interesting.
Yeah, like, right. Like
32 episodes of ER. What?
Yeah, and like 134 episodes of Shameless, which might be all of. I don't know like how many of that works, but. Yeah. Wow. So, and he's only done like a couple of movies though. The Company Men, which I've heard of. I mean, this is all his writing credits, and he's directing. Again, he's done episodes of random TV series. That show Made on Netflix. But he for movies, it's just a Company Men and this Boint that he's directed. So
weird.
Yeah. So he's been around. I mean, he knows his way around a camera. So that's the director of this.
Yeah. Don't quit your day job.
Yeah. He doesn't have to. He's got one, and it's working. Yeah. So, I mean,
stick to producing. Don't direct it anymore.
I mean, the shots weren't bad. Like, it was filmed fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just this story was weak. So we're gonna get to that. So screenwriters, we have two people here to blame. So Stephen Knight, who I have heard of, he did the screenplay, and he's known for the movie Serenity, which came out in 2019 with I think that's Matthew McConaughey in that one.
The sci-fi one?
No, 2019.
No,
not that Serenity.
Okay.
No, and it was like a.
I was like, oh, cool.
No, it was like a throwback to like those '90s like psychological thrillers. It had Anne Hathaway in it and maybe Matthew McConaughey. Okay. He also wrote Locke, that movie with Tom Hardy where he's just in a car by himself. I don't know if you saw
see that. No.
The concept is really stupid, and I watched it and I was like, why am I watching this? It's just a guy in a car, but it's Tom Hardy in a car, so it's like, all right, I guess I can deal with this. And he pulls it off. But again, a lot of TV, Peaky Blinders. This is
created by Peaky Blinders. Interesting.
Yeah. Yep. 36 episodes of Peaky Blinders. Spencer, the one with that just came out about Princess Diana.
Oh.
Diana's, because they don't her name. So with Kristen Stewart, which I heard was very good. Didn't see it. Yeah. So I mean, he's got a Girl in the Spider's Web, the sequel to the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Screenplay.
Liam Gallagher solo music video.
Yeah, because everyone needs that.
Seems crappy. Yeah, everyone needs an Oasis adjacent music video under their belt.
But yeah, I mean, he's got the credits. Eastern Promises, which was a good one with Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen, got it.
Yeah, been doing this since the early '90s. So
wow, same.
And then the story by Michael Kolesniko.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll never look it up. So just go with
He's a Canadian.
Just go with something.
Yeah, Kolesniko. Known
famous
for
Canadian name, Kolesniko.
Yeah. Known for How to Kill Your Neighbor's Dog. Never seen it. Heard of it. And Iron Sky. Do you remember that one? Is that the one where the Nazis like take over the moon or something like that? It was kind of really goofy kind of.
No, not familiar. Should I watch that?
Yeah, it's stupid. No, don't worry about it. Private Parts, 1997 screenplay for Private Parts.
Not familiar.
Howard Stern movie.
I do not know Private Parts.
That's been around for a while.
No.
But that's it.
The autobiographical story of Howard Stern.
You've never heard of that movie or seen
There's a movie about that?
Oh my God. Yeah, so that's Michael Kolesniko. He's only done a handful of things, but since 1995, written.
Wow.
All right, so who's in this? We got the Bradley's Cooper's Lees.
Mm-hmm.
He plays Adam Jones. Sienna Miller, she plays Helena.
I think Helene.
Helene, was it Helene? Helene?
I think so.
Okay, we'll go with that. That's fine. I just watched it. Daniel
he never says her name.
Yeah, they say it twice in the movie. I think it's and it's Tony, Daniel Brühl's character. So Daniel Brühl, he plays Tony.
Yeah,
friend of the past, not friend of the pod. Actually, is Daniel Brühl friend of the pod? No, I don't think so. Not yet.
I don't think so. But it opens us up to some nice accent work later. So
yeah, it does. It does. And then we got Riccardo Scaramaccio.
Oh boy,
Scaramaccio. He plays Max, a loose cannon line cook. We got Omar Sy, who plays Michelle. Emma Thompson, add a little weight to the cast here, plays Dr. Rosehild.
Friend of the pod.
Yep. Sam Keeley plays a young chef, David. Henry Goodman plays Conti, who's like an old friend of Bradley Cooper's character there. Matthew Rhys plays Rhys, the kind of villain chef, or his opposite, like his competition chef.
Is he a friend of the pod?
No.
Okay.
And then Alicia Vikander, she plays Anne Marie. I included her because she's kind of important, obviously later in the movie, but she's not in it for very long.
I mean, she's listed as like one of the leading, like she was in the trailer.
Yeah.
On the credits page there.
And then we got Jody Hulls. He plays an electrician.
Oh.
He plays the electrician who thinks there's too much tarragon in his meal.
I was gonna say, you mean the electrician?
Electrician, yeah. So that's who's in this. And production budget, all this stuff, numbers. You like numbers? Here are the numbers. Ready? Worldwide box office made $36,766,293.
That's not bad. That's like 9,600-ish fanatics. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Split up to domestic is about 13.6 million, international 23 million. And then I did another 3 million-ish home video DVD sales and all that fun stuff.
Dang.
All that on a budget of 20 million.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Profitable slightly.
Maybe. Slightly, I guess. Yeah. They did 50% of the marketing budget, like 30 million overall, maybe.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes, it sits at 28%. That's why it's here. And 44% for the audience. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not surprised by that because it's definitely not the worst movie we watch.
No, it's put together.
Yeah. Yeah, Bradley Cooper is pretty good in it.
Like all the acting, I think is good. It's just again, it always comes back to like the writing and like. But we can fix some stuff in part two when we go to Jared and Russ Ameliorate.
True. Yeah, the writing and the story and the the characters and
Yeah, but the execution of like you know the directing and everything else, that's good, and the acting is
pretty good.
Yeah, so still wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't recommend watching it, but
pretty good.
You want some fast facts?
No, don't waste your time.
Yeah,
Act me, daddy.
Got a few here. To prepare for his role, Bradley Cooper trained alongside Claire Smith, executive chef of London's restaurant, and Gordon Ramsay. Oh, I guess this is one place. Executive chef of London's restaurant, Gordon Ramsay, which has 3 Michelin stars. Wait, what?
That's not a sentence.
Yeah, right? Like what? I'm pretty sure I read this before I meant to read it. It's one of those things where I read it and didn't read it out loud, and now I'm reading it out loud. Who wrote this? Who are you? Show yourselves.
Probably not. Maybe it's supposed to say like Gordon Ramsay's protege,
I don't know,
or something, because she works with him, or I don't know. The restaurant's not called Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, I know, right? Like that's the man. That's the man, the person. Nope.
Is it the name of the restaurant?
Yep.
Ugh, I hate that. I'm not a Gordon Ramsay guy anyway.
I'm not either. Pod. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
We don't want you on the podcast, Gordon Ramsay.
So yes, quick fact check. Yes, she is the executive chef of London's restaurant, Gordon Ramsay, aka the Gordon Ramsay restaurant in London.
Terrible.
Which has 3 Michelin stars. So
imagine how annoying that is if you're Claire Smith and you're like, Bradley Cooper's going to be following me around. Like, I have so much work to do.
Yeah.
If it's anything like what we saw in this movie,
right?
It looks really stressful.
Yeah. After this movie wrapped, there was a lot of consulting chefs on this, but consultant chef Marcus Waring said that if he had to hire anyone from the leading actors and actresses, he would choose Sienna Miller for her culinary skills.
I don't know what that says about anyone else. Or her, for that matter. Like, he's not saying she's good at cooking. He's just saying, like, if I had to pick someone from the cast, I guess her.
Yeah. Like, he closed his eyes, just like, here. Who am I pointing at right now?
If you put a gun to my head, I guess her.
Let's see, other fun stuff. Bradley Cooper was already fluent in French before filming.
Oh, okay. I actually was kind of thinking about that towards the end.
I'm not a French guy, nor do I speak French, but he seemed like he did pretty well.
I've dabbled.
You dabbled in the language de France.
That's right.
Okay.
En français.
En français.
S'il vous plaît.
Moving on, Bradley Cooper claimed that the actors and actresses performed their food prep scenes with all of the hazards of a real kitchen, including flaming stoves and sharp knives. Also, real chefs were cast as extras in the kitchen, putting pressure on the actors and actresses to keep up.
Why? Why would they do that?
Make it authentic, man. You're just cooking stuff. Like, it's okay. You'll be all right. It's just a knife. It's just fire. So this is gonna be a numbers fact here. Mm-hmm. On Adam's last day, shucking oysters in New Orleans. So in the opening of the movie, which we'll get to, he's tracking how many oysters he's shucking as kind of penance for him screwing up his life back in Paris or wherever, right?
That's right.
So he's in Nolens and he's tracking the number of oysters he's shucking. His notebook says that he had shucked 996,696 oysters before starting his last day.
Okay.
Meaning he shucked 3,304 oysters during his final shift to reach his 1 million goal. If he worked an 8-hour shift on that final day without a single break, he would have to shuck 413 oysters per hour, which breaks down to 7 oysters per minute, or 1 oyster every 8 to 9 seconds.
Wow, that's that seems unlikely.
Yeah, it takes me like 3 minutes. I'm like, God damn it! So yeah, that's numbers.
Interesting.
Facts. Yeah, because we like numbers.
Okay.
Here.
Well, I'll give you another one then. That's he had shucked when he's starting his final shift, about 269 fanatics worth of oysters by count to dollar.
Count to dollar. It's a lot of oysters.
That's right.
Jamie Dornan had a 2-minute cameo in the movie that didn't make the final cut. He is part of Sienna Miller's character's backstory, playing her ex-husband Leon Sweeney. Oh. He appeared in one scene having a fight with her. Test audiences disapproved of the scene, and it was removed.
Who's Jamie Dornan? That sounds familiar.
50 Shades of Grey movies.
The Longest Yard? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the 50 Shades of Grey guy, Jamie Dornan. He's also in this show on HBO that's really good called The Tourist. It's really good. I highly recommend it. Watch that over this.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. This one is going to blow your mind. David Fincher was originally going to direct this in 2008.
What?
Yeah. This movie was in development hell. So he was going to direct it in 2008 with Keanu Reeves attached to star.
What?
Fincher left the project in 2010. Bradley Cooper was announced as a lead in 2012. with Derek Cianfrance as director. Don't know who that is. Cianfrance dropped out, and John Wells was hired to direct in 2013.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I feel like a David Fincher, Keanu Reeves
cooking movie.
Very different.
It would be probably what we wanted and like way more intense.
Yeah, I probably would have loved that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
right? Like,
I feel like we got robbed.
We definitely got robbed. The script was featured on the 2007 Blacklist, the list of the most unproduced scripts. So it's been around for a while. It's been in development since 2007. The film was going to be titled Chef, but Jon Favreau had already used this title for his movie.
That's a good movie. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I did. That's a good one. Yeah. Before the Weinstein Company, bought the rights for this movie. It was a Sony Pictures project, and the company
to be starring Adam Sandler.
yeah, right.
They're doing Spanglish too.
Yeah, Spanglish too. I'm in the kitchen cooking. All right, get out of here. And the company said so it was a Sony Pictures project, and the company served Favreau's production with a cease and desist over the title Chef. That's crazy.
Wow.
Sony cleared the titles Chef and The Chef with the MPAA and requested that Aldo Misa, which controlled Favreau's movie, I don't know who that is, which controlled Favreau's movie, change the title of their movie on threat of legal action. Classic Sony. Favreau's movie with the title Chef was released in 2014. Sony and the Weinstein Boo company changed their Chef title to Adam Jones in 2014. And in July, yeah, right? Why would you do that? That's dumb.
Bad title.
Like no one knows who that is. And in July 2015, they changed it to Burnt. And then the movie was finally released in October 2015. Wow, it was 8 years to get this movie out, and then it's garbage. Like, come on.
You hate to see it. Wow.
All that for 28% Rotten Tomatoes. All that for us to talk about it.
Yep. Hate it.
8 years later.
Hate it.
All right, we're down to the last one, unless you have some surprise ones here. Oh, I should know, if you haven't noticed, listener, we are doing Fast Facts before our Hollywood pitches. We're making some changes to some of our segments. So,
that's right.
We're going from quick to fast to our pitches. So, if you're wondering, Hollywood pitches are coming next. So, the last Fast Facts. You're gonna have to help me with some of the French on this one. 3 of the 4 times there was a scene. There were 3 of the 4 times there was a scene. I don't know. The wine's in here. 3 of the 4 times there was a scene with wine in it. First one was with meeting Conti, the older character of the kind of mentorish character of Adam Jones, Bradley Cooper's character, in his restaurant.
Yeah, second time, 5 seconds.
Second time was when Tony was in the cellar choosing a wine for the pigeon, and third when the maitre d' of Rhys was in the kitchen counting money, and Adam, Bradley Cooper, came and burned out. Yeah. All these scenes had the same wine, a Premier Grand Cru Classé au Saint-Emilion called Chateau Anglais.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I nailed it.
Yeah. Close enough.
Also, this is a funny fact inside of the Fast Fact. This is an expensive wine, normally too expensive to put next to a course just for a quote unquote pairing.
Wow. That is fun.
Yeah, that's fun and fast. Not really. It was a little bit longer than fast.
Speaking of drinking, did you know that the Michelin Man's name is Latin for to drink?
I thought it was going to be like to tire.
Nope. Bibendum is to drink.
All right.
And not in French, in Latin. Right. So I don't know why. Yeah. But
look at that. So much to learn from us today. You're learning so much, listener. Aren't you happy you turned this one on? Get happier. We'll sprinkle some history about the Michelin program and stars and book throughout the episode.
And Bibendum.
So keep listening.
Come on, get happy.
All right. We're doing this. So you want to Hollywood pitch me, le motherfucker? Because that's because we're doing the whole French thing.
Oui. Okay, so this movie is obviously The Kissing Booth 2 meets The 100-Foot Journey. Okay. Now I know you've seen The Kissing Booth 2.
Sadly, unfortunately.
And they have a lot of things in common. One, both movies have awkward kissing, several awkward kisses.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Kissing Booth 2 has like a bunch of awkward kisses because it's the Kissing Booth, but also there's that like kind of shoehorned in Ollie turns gay, realizes he's gay subplot.
Yep. Oh, right. Yeah.
Where they have the pretty uncomfortable kiss at the end that definitely, like, you don't really even know Ollie's name basically until that point, because they like really try to force it in, which like I'm like good representation in the movie, in that at least like there should be, you know, non-heteronormative characters in the movie, but also
be better.
Like they did a bad job. we talked about it in the Kissing Booth too. Go listen to that episode. And in this movie, there is a similarly uncomfortable gay kiss that also feels like it's kind of shoehorned in, not like about the like, I don't know. Bradley Cooper's character does not seem like he seems very straight the whole time, and Tony is not, and Tony like pines after him. That's like you were alluding to it earlier. Like Tony was like I think Tony always had a crush on him.
Yes. Yeah.
And so like kissing him feels like it's like, I don't know. To me, it felt like it was like a weird take advantage of Tony. I don't know. Poor Tony. Poor Tony. Tony's the real hero in this movie. So that's Kissing Booth 2. There's no dancing in this movie, at least, but
I'm surprised you're not doing there's the main thing I thought you were going to do.
Sorry. The main thing. Yeah, I completely forgot about the main thing is the montages. That's part of why I picked this.
I think montages per minute. I think Burnt beats the Kissing Booth.
It's going to be very close. Yeah.
It's like there's montages on top of montages in this movie.
That's right. I forgot about the obvious one.
Yeah.
I only remembered the awkward kisses. But either way, both movies suck. So don't recommend.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen The 100-Foot Journey?
I have not. Haven't even heard of it.
Okay. It's the same movie, basically.
Okay.
Or like a good version of this movie. So it's about a Muslim family who is running a restaurant in India, just like this movie. It's not. This movie doesn't do that. Just listeners, in case you didn't watch it,
which is fine and fine.
That's right. At one point, they end up in London. The restaurant family, they have to flee India. There's like a mob attack kind of thing, kind of like in this movie where they were the mob kind of attacking, right?
Yeah.
So then they end up in London, and then they end up in France at some point, and just like in this movie where they variously talk about London and France. Right.
Yep.
And then it's about cooking, just like this movie, the whole movie, and even more importantly, it's about the main character who's like trying to basically like avenge his father's restaurant failings.
Yeah.
Which like this movie kind of, it's like Jean-Luc is basically a father figure to Bradley Cooper.
Yes. Yep.
And trying to get a third Michelin star. He has 2 Michelin stars midway through the movie, and learns at the end of the movie that the only way he can do it is by relying on his friends and family. So it's like literally the same movie.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's funny, like when we're like too on the nose with these, we're like, yeah, there's not much else to say. Like,
it's basically the same movie.
It's that movie.
There's some like, frustrated love scenes and things like that where like there's not it doesn't always go well for our hero because he's a frustrated artist chef kind of thing.
Ugh,
and
the worst kind.
Yeah, it's basically the same movie, but with Helen Mirren, and it's a much better movie.
All right.
So what do you got?
A little less on the nose, I think. I don't know, maybe. So I'm going, it's definitely the A-Team. The 2010,
obviously,
the 2010 A-Team movie remake kind of movie, whatever, right? Meets Waiting, the Ryan Reynolds movie.
Okay.
Yeah, have you seen these both? I mean, you know of them.
Yeah, not sure how you're going to connect it to Waiting, but
oh, don't you worry. So the A-Team, I've
seen both of these.
The A-Team is pretty obvious. One, we get the connection, Bradley Cooper, right? He plays Face in the A-Team, kind of an egotistical guy, right? He's always worried about his name is Face and his good looks, right? Always wearing a leather jacket.
Just like Bradley Cooper's name is Face.
Yeah. it's just Face. Also the A-Team, the first 15, 20 minutes of Burnt is him assembling his team, right?
That's right.
And he's just manipulating people. He's getting people fired. He's getting bad reviews for restaurants, and he's just manipulating all the characters to get them together to form the A-Team, right?
That's right.
Loves it when a plan comes together.
Mm-hmm.
Meets waiting now. You know, the connection of, food industry.
What? That's so crazy.
I don't know, lead male character you really don't care about? I don't care how I don't really care how Ryan Reynolds' character ends up in that movie. But the end of it, he finds that he needs to better himself. I think at the end of that movie, right? He decides to not take the promotion at the restaurant and decides to go back to college for a better future. So he has a realization that that's the only way he can do that. So and what else in waiting? I think that's it. And I mean, that's just a real glimpse of how restaurants, are, right? It's so I think a more true to life restaurant experience of waiting. And I also wanted to call it out because there is a little Bradley Cooper's character, Adam Jones, goes on a little bit of a mansplaining rant about Burger King and comparing it to like really fancy restaurants. And I just wanted to call out the not fancy restaurant and, serving millions of plates of food to hungry people every day.
Wow. Yeah. Good connection.
I think that's it. Right. And 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 also in waiting, I'll throw this out there too. You have like the cast of characters you'd find in a kitchen, right? You got all the wacky characters, just like this movie. You got the loose cannon who's come out of prison. You got they're out of jail. You got the young kid who doesn't have the confidence in himself. Then you got him who's like right. And you've got the cocky leader guy who's just like, yeah, we'll get through this, whatever. So that's it. That's what I'm going with. I'm sticking with it.
What great job by to both of us, I think.
Yeah, I mean, did we never? I mean, I don't think there's ever a time where we don't nail these. Even when we fail, we don't.
We fail gracefully. That's right.
Do. Yes, gracefully. Should we get into this?
Yeah, I guess so.
Prepare yourselves, listener. We are going to get into it.
That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, we get the usual. We get the entertainment one, which
I think I missed.
Yeah, they were very early on. Yeah, they're if you're getting comfortable on the couch, you'd miss them. We've done another movie of theirs. I don't know which movie.
We did?
Yeah, we've definitely done an entertainment one.
Chaos Walking. That's what it was.
There it is.
I was going to say, was it the Tom Holland movie? Oh, wow. My memory is better than I give myself credit for.
Okay, so yeah, entertainment one, and then we get, like Weinstein, whatever. Boo.
Boo.
And in opening credits, it's just a shot of him on a trolley, kind of opening image, you get the back of his head. And he's just doing some voiceover about his mentor, Jean-Luc Picard, and talking about God and oysters and apples and recipes.
Yep. Yeah, that's basically it. It's really annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. And someone had said that, you can't make apples and oysters and make those recipes any better. Right. But the whole thing is that as a chef, it's our job to try. And then cue the bluesy music,
Bluesic.
And then we get a oyster shucking montage, right? Credits rolling, more voiceover exposition coming from him. And I'm like, I wonder who he's talking to. We never find that out, do we?
I think just himself, yeah. Just and the bluesic is to signify that he's in New Orleans.
Yes. Yes.
And he's basically like, some nights I thought I was almost as good as I thought I was but that's what I'm told. And you're like, wait, what? Like those weren't sentences.
Like, what do you?
I was gonna say it's like all the exposition from the trailer, explaining to us what the premise of the movie is. He's like, well, I got chased out of Paris and I sentenced myself to this hard labor, and today's my last day. I did 1 million finally. Okay, sick. Title card.
Like you could have cut out all that. Whatever. I'll get into the ameliorate, but that's a detail. But you could have cut all that voiceover out and just like. Yes. Just explain it through dialogue or something else later. But yeah, so Devil's Chasing out of Paris, blah blah. And then he gets the 1 million, eats the 1 million one, I think, right? Or maybe the 1 millionth one.
I don't know.
We get the title card burnt, and then he just walks out and leaves his job. It's like, asshole. Like the guy in there is like, hey, where are you going? Like, we still have work to do.
Hey, I'm working here.
Like, what are you, like, what's going on? You just, okay, asshole.
That was my New Orleans accent.
No, that was good. Yeah, that was pretty close, right? I did a shot of him walking on a bridge in New Orleans, not where we thought. I think it might have been shots of airplanes. So clearly he's traveling. Then he's in London, more bridges.
Well, that's when I was like, which bridge? Because he's on like 8 bridges. It's a big travel montage.
Yeah, he bounces from like a New Orleans one and into I don't know. Then he's in London, so whatever.
Yeah, this is like the quality of my notes, by the way, in this movie. Like, guy shows up, woman follows. She says he showed up. Something about Paris.
Yeah, I like how you have a lot of question marks in your notes. Great, this ought to be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's in a hotel room, and so these like first 15 minutes, this is all just him, the A-Team moment, right? He's meeting all the characters. So we meet Daniel Brühl's character here, that's right? Tony. He's got a.
Meanwhile, Tony has like a vaguely French, semi-German because he's
Daniel Brühl.
Yeah, because he's Daniel Brühl accent, and I love it. I'm here for it.
It's pretty great. Clearly, he's like a hurt friend from Adam Jones's past here, right? So, and basically, what we're getting on this scene is that he runs his father's hotel. Jones has some shit to say about the food being served. And then he tells Tony he wants to like take over his restaurant and go for the 3 stars. Basically, we get all the motivation from Adam Jones and what he's trying to do here, right?
Yep, exactly.
And he's like, basically, he just needs to convince people he's actually back and like not high or drunk or at the bottom of any barrels anymore, right?
Yep, exactly. And Tony gives him the advice of, if you want to live a long life, eat your own tongue, because he's definitely his own worst enemy.
Yes. Yeah. I also hated it was such a lame way to tell us, the audience, that it's Tony's hotel, when he's like, Tony comes and knocks on the door, and Bradley Cooper's like, "Let yourself in. It's your father's hotel." It's like, Christ. Like,
apparently he this Jones's character did a bunch of dirtbag stuff too. Like he like stole methadone from some sous chef, I guess, back in the day, and like,
got to get in there, right?
Like it. Yeah, we get a good amount of story to not like this character, and I don't find him redeeming either.
No, not one bit. And then we get our first of many London transition, him walking shots. There's a lot of this.
Yes.
It's just, we need to change scenes, so it's just him walking. So now we're in another restaurant.
He's walking to the next scene.
Yeah.
They just had they had a camera guy just like follow Bradley Cooper around London. Yeah.
And so the next scene is actually right down over there. So we're in another restaurant.
I'm going to get a glass of water. Like, hang on.
Yeah. So we're like in another restaurant. He meets with an older guy, restaurant buddy, old friend, I guess, in the biz, Conti, I think his name is. And then just more exposition about Jones not being around. Him, we learn that he's sober now, right? People worried about him
from the trailer. It's exactly from the trailer.
Yeah, and we learn about his mentor, Jean-Luc Picard, had passed away. He didn't know that. So that means he wasn't around. So
that's right.
And then I think we end up in Kant gives him a tour of the kitchen, right? His restaurants.
Exactly. And that's when we get introduced to our next character.
Yes. Sienna Miller's character, Helene.
Helene, yep.
Jones gives her a compliment about the food, which is apparently a big deal because he's, a big deal, right? But then he gives her
cacio e pepe, and he says it's the best he's had outside of Rome. And then he goes on to tell her what to do.
Yeah, he's not good with the compliment sandwich. He does this multiple times where he forgets the bottom slice of the sandwich here, of the compliment sandwich. He comes in with a compliment and then just shits on you and then leaves it like that. It's like, that's not how you lead. That's not, that's not what you're supposed to do. So basically an arrogant asshole. And she's like, I'm not having this.
She's like, he's an arrogant prick.
Yep. American.
Okay.
Arrogant prick. Yeah.
American. Yep. And Conti's like, well, he's a chef. And you're like, no, you don't have to be an asshole.
Yeah. Like this toxic chef, trope here is, you can move on from that. So then we're back at the hotel, right? So it's back in Adam Jones' room there, and we got Tony going through his stuff, right?
Yep.
And we see the bottle of water is open, but all the booze is still sealed. He's kind of checking up on him, seeing like, what's his deal? Why is he coming back into town? What's he really want?
Yeah.
And he starts sniffing his clothes and folding them.
Yeah, that was like
the first sign of later on. I was like, oh, later on that makes sense. Okay.
I guess, yeah. But
later
it
does.
Yeah. It's still weird.
Yeah.
And then we go outside.
We're in the streets. And again, we're walking. And he spots some dude sitting at a table at a cafe. At a cafe.
Yep.
And then he's like, oh, man. And
he just like runs away.
He just runs away. And the guy chases him into an alley. Yep. And then Jones just clocks him with a bag of trash right in the side. Or whatever it was.
Yep. No, that's what it was.
Yeah. And then this is Michelle. So we meet another character. the cast
from the trailer.
Yep, from the trailer. They scrap for a bit, and then we get a bunch of just exposition about their relationship. He literally says, "We were like brothers."
Yeah.
And you have the high ground.
You're my brother.
You're my brother. I hate you. I hate you.
You were the chosen one.
That's not far off because there is a Star Wars connection in this movie later, which is infuriating.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
we'll discuss then. So then we learned that Adam here, Bradley Cooper's character, he did some shitty stuff to Michelle here, right? Where he released rats in Michelle's restaurant and then called the health inspector on him.
Yeah, which they just do a bunch of exposition. He's like,
"Yeah,
I can't believe you're here after what you did to me." And he's like, "What did I do to you?" And he's like, "You released rats in my restaurant and then called the health inspector." And he's like, "Oh, right." Okay, thanks for explaining. I get it. But.
Yeah. Like, what? I don't get it. Like, yeah. So anyways, they're all good.
Yeah. Adam's like, "I'm going for my 3rd star. I need you."
Yeah. Michelle's like, "I want in."
Then they hug. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. All right. And then we're back at the hotel.
Yep.
And then this is where we learn he's out of money, right? Where the hostess or the concierge managers or whatever, she comes over and she's like, "Hey, your credit card, it's been declined." And Tony's basically threw him out. He's like, "Here's your shit. Your knives are in the bag. Get out."
Then we get one of our first like food montages.
Yes, one of many food montages. This is a street food montage, right? So we get some food trucks, some tacos being made. All the food looked really delicious. It's making me hungry, but
yeah, I know. I'm hungry now just thinking about it.
Oh man! So then we're in a street and in a food trucky kind of whatever street foods areas, whatever, and we got him recruiting some young kid, David, right?
Yep.
Who's like a little timid, and Jones kind of pushed him. He's like, "Hey, you make a good sandwich here, but if you want to work in my kitchen, you got to be an arrogant prick like me." Basically,
well, the way that he does it is super frustrating because the kid's like, "You're a hero," and he's like, "Am I a hero or am I your god?" He's like, "Would you work for me for free?" And he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Would you pay me to work for me?" He's like, "What?" He's like, "How much would you pay me? Would you pay me $100 a week to work for me?" And he's like, "What?" He's, "You lack arrogance."
Oh my god!
What a stupid sequence. Yeah. And he's like, "Also, can I sleep in your spare bedroom?"
Like, no, like, asshole, get out of here! Like, I'm doing just fine here. Like,
so frustrating.
Oh my god! Yes, we asked him to crash his place, and then we're at David's apartment here, right? This is
the quick from the trailer.
Quick shot from the trailer here. Him and his girlfriend, played by Lily James. One of her early things. They're chatting in bed while Jones in the background whipping up breakfast, and they're chatting about basically they're providing more exposition about how awesome he is. Right. Yep. And this is where we get the Rolling Stones. He's like the Rolling Stones of chefs kind of line.
Yep.
And then this is so annoying. So then he's like, David here is explaining, giving an analogy of and us the stars, right? What you need to be, how good you need to be to get those stars, the Michelin stars, right?
Because I guess the Rolling Stones bit didn't make his point clear.
Yeah. So he decides to use a Star Wars analogy, which
it's even worse.
It's even worse. Which if you can't do anyway. So he's like, to get even 1 star, you have to be like Luke Skywalker. To get 2, you have to be like whoever Alec Guinness played.
Which, first of all, dude. Sir Alec Guinness.
Yeah, right, correct. Sir Alec Guinness.
Yeah, and second of all, come on. Come on.
Like,
if you're going to do a Star Wars thing, and you know who Sir Alec Guinness is.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not know Obi-Wan Kenobi off the top of your head?
Right.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And then, because then to get 3, you're Yoda.
Yes.
And you're like, so you know all the other characters' names.
Yes. But you don't know like one of the most powerful Jedis in all of the galaxy.
So frustrating. So frustrating.
Trains Luke and defeats Darth Vader the first time? Come on. Grow up, kid.
Embarrassing.
And then she's like, well, what if he's Darth Vader? I don't know. He's got a son. He's got a son. He's gonna, and then Adam Jones here makes a dope ass breakfast. They eat it. Have a little humor between David and Jones about what was it, escargot he made for breakfast? It's old fashioned or something.
David doesn't say anything. He's like, it's breakfast. And then the girlfriend's like, David thinks you're escargot old fashioned. And you're like, wow, way to rat him out like to his hero.
Yeah, right.
Come on,
to his god.
Yeah, he just tried to make it very clear. We're talking about Sir Alec Guinness, and very frustrating.
Yeah. It's time for more food transition shots and a little montage, and Adam Jones writing ideas down.
Yep.
I feel like a good 10, 12 minutes of film is actually montages, probably.
More than that.
You think Definitely. More than that? I mean, 12 is a lot too. So
I think at least 15.
It's like almost a quarter of this movie is montages.
Yeah, at least.
So now we're in Burger King, and
sponsored by Burger King,
and he's meeting Helene here, and basically just does some mansplaining about food and why Burger King and the restaurants they work at are the same. And the reason why she should hate Burger King is because they're consistent. I mean, consistency is their death, right?
That's what he
death
says,
for people like them.
Yeah, just like sex, you're going to the same place, but you need to get there in new and exciting ways. You're like, okay, a little early to, I think drop this on this person that you're trying to hire for, but sure, okay.
Yeah, a little bit, and then she's basically not having it. She's like, whatever, right? And then we get more food transition shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're at a food truck now, right? I think.
Yeah, and then this is when Uma Thurman shows up, who I wrote as Lady from the trailer because I don't recognize anyone ever. So even Uma Thurman.
So she plays I guess one of the top-notch food critics, right? One of the most renowned or whatever. She's a food critic. We learned that they had a past.
It's frustrating, like a lot of other things in this movie. And it's 2015. And like, come on.
Yeah.
And so like, she's like, oh, like, yeah, I'm a lesbian and I slept with you. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why have this in this movie? Like,
yeah. It's
cut that.
Yeah. It's some thoughts for the Amelia Ray, but yeah, it's a little, it's too much. Like we get it. It's a trope, but, so he basically comes up, he schemes this plan, to basically have her go in and help him kick the city's ass, with food, whatever. And then we cut to Tony's, restaurant there, right?
Right.
And I think her name was Simone, right? Yeah, Simone. She shows up. This is Uma Thurman's character, whatever. She shows up, and then Tony's freaking out in the kitchen. He's like, "Oh, mate, she's here. She could destroy us." Blah blah blah.
Everything is fucked.
This meat is too dry. This tarragon is too tarragony. And Adam Jones is there. He's all, he's got his jacket on. He's just hanging out, and he's like, your kitchen's effed if you don't let me cook for her.
Yeah.
And
he whips out his knives.
He's like, "You got my knives? Oh, what's this right here? My knives? Look at that. Who did that? Who put those there? Didn't even know that. Didn't even see those in my back pocket." And he's like, "I could leave. I'm gonna leave." He starts walking out, and Tony's like, "No, come back.
Yeah.
And then we get a Adam Jones cooking montage.
Another one.
And Uma, she's eating, and she is clearly pleased. And Tony realizes it was all set up. He's like, "You set this up."
The bastard could cook gravel, he says.
He's good. He's just that good. Gravel, you say?
Yummy in my tummy.
We're back. We're still at the hotel there, the restaurant, Tony's hotel restaurant, and it's kind of closing time. So it's just him and Adam Jones hanging out, right? And they're chatting.
He's like, "I got the A-team together."
Yeah.
And a new woman. And he's like, "Oh, a woman?" This is 17 minutes in the movie. I'm so sad.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got his A-team and more exposition pretty much about Jones's character and his past, right? Well, he's like, "Oh, if a woman's involved, no way, because then you're going to blah, 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 it's going to ruin everything." And he's like, "I'm sober. I don't do that stuff anymore," And then we get some exposition about Tony and his father, right? And it's like, if it wasn't his hotel, Adam's basically, if it wasn't your father's hotel, you'd have been fired a long time ago, So they basically saying that they need each other to succeed here. So,
and also he's like, "Your father's not sick; he's dying."
Yeah,
like, ruthless.
Yeah, like okay, but it's
like, you're the best maitre d' in town. Because Tony's basically like, still you can tell like worshiping Adam, right?
Yes.
And he's like, "Oh, like, yeah, you're like the best chef in the world." And he's like, "Yeah, and I think you're the best maitre d' in town." You're like,
in town? Come on, man. Clearly they need each other to succeed, but Adam doesn't realize that it's a team effort, but he still thinks it's, and then we get another Adam Jones walking transition.
Yeah. Meanwhile, somewhere else.
Yeah. We're at Emma. We meet Emma Thompson's character now, Dr. Hildebrand Thorne, whatever.
The one time that we could use like a little bit of exposition because I'm confused. They just jump right into it, and you kind of put it together, but it's also like, this could have been a way more interesting subplot. We're getting to ameliorate, I guess, but
or the other shit you had said earlier you could have done here, right? Because she's like the psychologist. It's like, oh, this is the perfect time to drop, information. If you could drop information bombs, have the psychologist do it.
Nope.
But then she goes on about how he's going to get regularly drug tested, right? Or Tony's money will get pulled, right?
Yep.
Basically, the kind of like somewhat of the core theme of the movie, like him trying to cope and continue with dealing with his issues, and then he makes a movie reference to he wants his chefs to be the Seven Samurai.
Which what?
I
don't get it.
I mean,
it's a A-Team movie, right? Basically.
Yep.
Stupid.
Yep.
Very frustrating.
And then there's another cooking montage, right? We're in another restaurant.
Yep. Surprise, surprise.
This is just when in doubt, just throw in a cooking montage. So we meet his opposition, his kind of chef.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. And we get more exposition about Jones's character here, right?
Excuse me, chef, there's been a complaint.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Who did this? And then he comes out and he sees it's Adam Jones there.
And he's like, don't fight him. You guys probably shouldn't fight, huh? Not in the restaurant.
Yeah. Then they sit down. They have like kind of like their little witty banter back and forth a bit.
It's not witty banter. No, it's offensive.
I'm not saying it actually is, but this is what they're attempting. Like they're trying to do witty banter because they do this 3 or 4 times, these two guys, when they meet up.
Yeah.
It's not good. Like
Bradley Cooper says, I love the decor. Perfect for stoning infidels.
Yeah.
Like that's offensive. Like ruthless.
So, he's trying to be witty. It's attempt at witty.
Oh God. But then basically this is when it's revealed that Rhys, meanwhile, while Adam was out shucking stuff, got his 3rd star finally. And Rhys tells him, look, this Mozart Salieri business is getting old between the two of us. And he's got a lot of like you said, like they're trying to be witty, but it's like weird throwaway. I don't like he's like, oh, doomed youth is romantic and doomed middle age is not.
It's pretentious witty banter.
Yes.
That's what it is. So it's not good. It's obnoxious.
It's very frustrating.
It's very like, we can reference Mozart and doomed youth and romantic. Like, shut up. Just like you're an asshole. Get out of my restaurant.
You're like, okay, Aaron Sorkin, I get it. Don't social network me.
So then he's leaving and again tries to give a compliment sandwich, but leaves off the end there. He's like, hey, the lobster is good, but too much lemon.
Yeah, you fucked up the sauce.
Yeah, too much fucking lemon.
Like this part was stupid too. Like then, like as Adam walks away and Rhys is like to his right hand man, he's like, you got to find out who he's got over there.
Yeah.
Why? Like who cares? I don't care about this plot at all.
Yeah, who cares? So then we cuts to Adam Jones on a Mission Impossible motorcycle here, cruising around town.
Yep.
Because he's badass. And this is a transition to him going to a jail or whatever prison there. Not prison, it's a jail. And he picks up yet another character for the A-Team.
Yep.
And this is Max, the loose cannon, kind of,
doesn't play by the rules.
I don't play by the rules. And basically he was in jail because he assaulted a guy for plating monkfish upside down 3 times.
Yeah, which
embarrassing.
Yeah. How do you how do you plate monkfish upside down 3 times? I'm with him.
Yeah. You deserve to get assaulted if you can't plate a monkfish.
That's right.
Oh my God. But he saved his nose, which is nice of him. And then there's like a quick joke about where he got the motorcycle from, and it was Michelle's, and he didn't tell him. I don't know. He just stole it.
Yeah, he stole it.
He stole his friend's bike.
Because he's forever a jerk to Michelle, which will also come back later.
It's called karma.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're back at the restaurant. And we're at the new place, the place that they were planning on opening together, right? Tony and Adam here. And like doing
at the hotel restaurant. Yeah.
Oh, they're doing they're remodeling it, right? Because
right,
like that's
exactly.
Yeah. They're doing a full remodel of the restaurant, and work's being done. And him and Max here are cooking, having some quote unquote humor about too much tarragon. And then he gives the electrician tries, and I think he says too much tarragon.
Yeah, it's dumb.
And then he goes down to the wine cellar there, and he's chatting with Tony. And then this is where we learn about the other subplot.
Yeah, he gets like a recipe.
Yeah,
here's a recipe, and it's like actually a death threat.
Okay,
like, what?
Was Tony? Maybe he was just saying it as like, oh yeah, here's a recipe for you. Check out. Like,
I don't
know why he would. Yeah, I didn't quite get that either. But yeah, basically, you got a note from the drug dealers that he owes money to. Like,
whose name is Bonesis? Like, I mean, that's how it's spelled.
Yeah, you're gonna pick a name. Bonesis.
Right?
Bonesis. And Bonesis, the driving cat.
Bonesis,
eh? Where's our drugs this money is? It's Bonesis.
Where's my loot?
Where's my lootsis? So yeah, he owes some bad people some shady money, to shady people from Paris. You know?
Yep. And Tony warns him, you got to take him seriously because that guy is crazy.
Yeah.
Hooch is crazy.
Yeah. Bones is crazy.
Bones is crazy.
I can see Bones is talking about himself in the third person. Who's crazy? Oh, Bones is crazy.
Yeah. Some say Bonesis, some say Bonesis.
I like either one.
Bonesies.
I'll break your bonesies. That's why.
Hey. That's got to be it,
right? If you don't do as I says, you're gonna get your bones broken.
I'll break your little bonesies.
So then we cut to a nice London evening transition shot. More of him walking and eating. And then we get that. I love that music. We get the music that implies like he's thinking, and like working through something.
Yes. It's like Coldplay.
Yeah. Like he's like, oh man, I'm pondering how to make a better root beat or something. I don't know, man. And then it's a montage. And that kind of runs into a montage of him giving one. Him giving Helene like a letter in her bike basket or something. Was that what he did? He dropped off a letter?
Something like that. Well, there's also like a therapy scene in there. And,
stoves firing up.
This sleeping. Days go by. It's unclear how much time is passing.
Him looking on as David, the young kid, is doing his thing, cooking, things being ironed.
Touching some meat.
Yeah, a lot of meat touching. He's going through some veggies. And then they're kind of bleeding it into that the restaurant the work is done. It's getting set up and getting ready to be opened. Utensils are being measured on the table.
Yep. How far the forks are apart apparently is very important.
He's got oysters. He smiles at him getting oysters. Remember when he shucked those million oysters? Mm-hmm. And then we get the reveal. Adam Jones, the Langham.
Adam Jones at the Langham.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
Open for biz.
So for how long?
Yep. Bleeding out of the montage, but then this whole next couple of scenes are like intercut of a couple different things happening, right? Of the restaurant doing its thing, and then we cut to Helene kind of subplot story here, whatever. Mm-hmm. So we got Jones giving, and this is basically him just being a total asshole, right? I think.
Yeah.
He's giving some kid shit, just being a straight up asshole, kind of running a show, sending out orders, yada yada, kitchen stuff, right? Then it cuts to Helene. She's showing up to late work. She's showing
to a separate restaurant.
To Conti's restaurant, the old guy from earlier, right? So she shows up there late, right? And he's like, "You're fired." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Here's your knives." And he says, "Get out of here, or you'll be late." Because
ruthless.
And he's smiling, and she's like, "What? Like what?"
Like, she's not happy because she has a child to feed.
Yeah, and she has a job. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I hate this guy so much. And then we cut to it's raining, and then she shows up at the Langham here, and her and Adam Jones are chatting outside.
I see you brought your knives.
Yeah, and he's like, "I'll triple or whatever. I'll triple your salary, or whatever you're making over there."
Sounds great.
Yeah, you're wasting your talents at the other place. And it's like, all right, dude, like you're an absolute asshole. You could have just come to me. You didn't have to get me fired and put me through this like stress here. You could have just offered me a job. Said he's a manipulating asshole. And then we cut to how's the restaurant doing, and Tony comes in.
Not so good.
He's like, we had 4 cancellations. He's like, 4 people. He's like, no, 4 tables.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And then we get the article in the paper about Jones, basically his past and his.
Yeah, the headline was what, like old kitchen devil fails to do something.
Yeah, it was stupid. It was a stupid headline.
Like, why would you say old kitchen devil? What is that?
Yeah, like
what a weird way to write a headline.
Yeah, right. Kitchen asshole.
He's like 40.
Yeah,
like old kitchen devil.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, really. This guy is over the hill.
So there's more kitchen stuff, and then we got Adam here. He's just yelling at people. We got a shot of Helene. She's doing stuff because she showed up right now. The chef's kitchen knife tattooing behind her ear was a little obnoxious, a little bit much. Also, why didn't she have an apron on? Like everyone else has got aprons on. Like they have extra. Put an apron on. You don't need to be just in your t-shirt. And then we cut to Rhys. Rhys shows up to the restaurant, right?
That's right.
The villain.
Under a fake name, O'Reilly.
Classic. Under his priest name, so he can deliver the last rites.
Classic Irishman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to come out and say hi. He's probably pretty busy. He looks around the restaurant. He's like, or maybe not. Yikes.
Yeah.
Back in the kitchen, back of the house, lots of yelling of chef.
Pork.
And he's like throwing plates. Actually, the budget of this movie was probably to all the plates he destroys.
Probably, yeah.
He breaks every plate I think he has.
Yeah, listeners, you might not know this little inside the biz tip. Restaurant plates in movies, $10,000 a piece.
Restaurant plates.
That's right.
Or $1 and you break 5 million of them.
When you're in the industry.
Oh yeah, when you're in the industry, yeah. And he's just losing his shit, just being a total jerk. And he loses stuff. He tosses everything. He slides. It's off in the trailer too, I think, right? Where he slams all the plates off the table. It's like you're making a mess and making things much harder to do. And then we cut to a cleanup montage.
Yeah. Then he goes out to see Rhys when he's like, everybody scrub up here.
Yeah.
So then Tony comes in, asks where he is. He's outside throwing up in the alley, apparently, which they show for a second for some reason.
Yeah, I think I missed that.
You didn't need to see it.
Yeah.
And then we go back inside. Everyone's all quiet, and he starts his big like diatribe, right? Where he's like, "I'm giving everyone who had dinner tonight their money back.
Yes,
and I'm writing them personal apologies for this disaster because it's all my fault."
Well, yeah. Well, yes, but he starts to like.
Right.
He starts to like take the blame and responsibility of it, but then he doesn't. He just goes around and basically berates everyone and calls them all out.
Do you think 2 millimeter potatoes was a joke? He's like, no, chef. He's like, oh, well, because it seems like you thought it was a joke. Because were those potatoes 2 millimeters? And he's like, I didn't measure them. He's like, oh, you didn't measure them.
Oh, then how could you know?
And he's like, I love the bit about the scallops. And then he starts yelling at Michelle, and he's like, if it's not perfect, you throw it away regardless of time.
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter. You throw it away. If it's not perfect, you throw it away. And then like out of nowhere, he pulls out a scallop in a napkin from his pocket.
Yeah. It's just like, I saved this for you. Eat it in front of everyone.
Yeah. And it's ITMT safety tip number 11, listeners. Don't eat pocket scallops.
That is true. Don't eat pocket scallops.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who gives it to you. Doesn't matter who gives it to you. Just don't eat pocket scallops.
That's right. And basically then he goes on to tell him, well, you spit that out before you die of who gives a fuck scallops. What is this movie?
Oh my God. So yeah, he continues his berating and continuing to be an asshole. And then he goes to, and then he calls out Helene, right? And gets really aggressive with her, right? Like grabs her by the shirt, whatever. And he's just like, rawr, 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 rawr.
Which like, you can't grab people by the shirt. Like that.
Yeah, no, that's
he tells her she's a piece of equipment.
Yes.
He's like, you're a piece of equipment. We're chefs here. Get the fuck out of my restaurant.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, and she's just like, don't touch me again, which is completely, reasonable.
Super reasonable. Yeah.
Completely beyond. And then, she leaves. He screams again, everyone get the fuck out.
And then 36 minutes in, somehow.
Jesus. He tells Tony he'll do all the TV shows, right? This came up earlier. They had mentioned.
We skipped it. Yeah.
Yeah, we skipped it. But basically, he was just like, Tony was like, yeah, we could do TV shows, sit you up there, do some cooking, stuff like this to promote the restaurant, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, he scoffed at it. He's like, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. He's like, all right, I'll do all the TV shows. There won't be another empty table at this restaurant.
So like it's just about time to turn things around, right? And this is when we get the TV spot.
Yeah.
We kind of see it from looking at someone's TV.
Yes. Yeah. We're at Helene's home here.
And the host is basically like, why are you here? And he's like, well, because last night we had a not perfect restaurant experience. And so because of that, we're doing free dinners for people all week. Like, wait, what? Like, that's not how fine dining works, I don't think.
Whatever you want.
Get the reveal, that it's Helene's TV, and she's meanwhile cooking for the daughter while she's watching TV, and then she shuts it off, and then the daughter's like, "Turbot, not again!" You're like, "Wait, what?" Because she's practicing, because the turbot, at which I don't know why they called it turbot and not turbo. I guess it's probably because it's London,
turbot.
But you're thinking if they're cooking it French style, they'd say turbo, but. Anyway, she's practicing because that was the thing that he told her was not good.
And then basically this also you're learning that she's, she takes the kid to school and it seems like she's just kind of juggling having to be a single mother and having a hard time doing this. So
she's like, I have to go find another job. Like, you have to get out of here. Yeah. I don't have time for your business right now.
Get kid.
Yeah, go to school.
Takes the little kid to school and
we're off.
Like we're off for part one.
Presumably something will happen after this.
Maybe. Like
this movie's so boring.
Yeah. It's a little well done. Actually, it's not well done at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah, I don't. I'm
assuming rated R for language.
Yeah. Yes, that's about it. So yeah, I don't know. Will he get that third star? Will he get any stars?
Right.
Will he pay off Boneses? Will Boneses get what he deserves? What he's owed? What Boneses?
Will he pay the Boneses toll?
Will Boneses get paid what Boneses deserves?
Can only hope.
One can only hope.
Will she get a job? Will Helene, our hero, our actual hero,
will she get a job? Will Tony's hotel change the sheets?
Yeah. Will Russ and I talk about Bibendoom again? The Michelin Man?
Oh, you're going to find all that out in part 2 when we turn this up to Tibbet. Thanks for listening. We'll be back Thursday with part 2. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That, or ITMT Pod on Twitter. If you know someone who would enjoy this, pass it along to them, and subscribe wherever you're listening.
And when you're there subscribing, you can also leave us a review, like a pretend you're a obnoxious food critic. Write something mean or something nice, and leave us 5 stars either way, because we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, tell us we got too much tarragon.
That's right. Or if you want to send us your favorite recipe, ideally featuring tarragon, you can send us an email, because it's probably a better format for that.
Yeah.
It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. Or you can go to the website, it's thismeetsthat.com, and find all the information about the podcast, all of our old episodes, soon to be some bios of the ITMT team that we have introduced over the years.
The ITMT A team.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And lots of other good stuff. So highly recommend you check it out. That was it's thismeetsthat.com.